Need a boost? Sometimes all it takes is tapping into your inner cool. Icebreaker's gum helps you unleash the confidence within. Each chew releases a rush of icy flavor powered by cooling flavor crystals, sending a wave of refreshment to reinvigorate all your senses. Icebreaker's convenient pack fits everywhere, from car cup holders to backpack pockets, so you can find your cool wherever you go. Grab Icebreaker's gum online or at a store near you.
You know what's really terrifying? That unfinished college degree lurking in the background, just sitting there, waiting for you. That's where Southern New Hampshire University comes in. With flexible online degree programs, there's no commuting, no rigid schedule, and no more excuses. Plus, they have some of the lowest online tuition rates in the U.S. Visit snhu.edu/morbid to learn more before your degree becomes just another story about what could have been. Chilling crime cases are mysterious, but finding coverage shouldn't be. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options and can personalize your plan to help create an affordable price so you can get back to cracking all of life's bigger cases. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Head to statefarm.com to get a quote. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Hey, weirdos. I'm Alaina.
I'm Ash.
And this is Morbid.
It's morbid, but it's morbid with a sick gal named Alaina Urquhart.
Yeah, you know what? In the last episode, I got a few comments that were like, was that Alaina?
Which is hilarious. Can you guys imagine if we were like...
just switched somebody in without saying anything?
We just didn't think you would know.
No, you know what? That was the beginning of this illness, and I was trying to push it away. Here's the thing. We've had this random virus. It is not God. COVID. We're all COVID negative. But it's been this random virus that we all keep passing around, and it just will not leave. And I'm assuming it started in like a kindergarten classroom and 100%. Just mutated. And then I, in particular, run myself into the ground. I will fully admit that. Oh, you
do? That's wild.
So I'm not doing myself any favors here by resting at all or anything. Like, I just don't do it. It's bad. Don't do that. I've learned my lesson with this one. Because finally... Ash, this has been lingering forever. It just keeps coming in and out.
Weeks and weeks. And it's hilarious. Let me interrupt you because I got better. But like maybe 2 weeks ago, you were like, you need to go to the doctor.
I know.
And I was like, you need to go to the doctor. Because I care about you. I care about you too, Dotch.
But it's, you know what it is? It's like, I just never shut off. And like, which like you have to. You have to shut off. Even if you're a parent, you need to shut off. And especially like I'm very, very lucky to have a husband, like a partner who will take over in like an instant. And I don't take advantage of it. So I really should have. And Ash and John were both like, you are going to the doctors. Because I woke up last week after we recorded my episode, actually. I woke up the next morning and my voice was gone.
I walked into the house in the morning, like thought we were recording, like thought we were going to start the day of work. And this bitch straight up says to me, hi. Oh, and I go, what?
Like, I think a lot of us, like, I've like lost quote unquote my voice where it sounds like this or like a little raspier. It's not where it needs to be. I've never full on not been able, like laryngitis style.
Right.
Not been able to, it like freaked me out. So that's when you guys were like, you need to go to the doctors.
And then let me explain to you all what happened at the doctors. This bitch got diagnosed with bronchitis, which they then said was going into pneumonia. Yeah. Like she came at the perfect time.
Yeah.
And she comes, I didn't get to go in because I don't know, it's the doctors. Why would I go in there? I was sitting in the car watching TikToks. But she comes back and she goes, he just said it's a casual case of bronchitis. And I go, first of all, we have the same doctor, actually.
Yeah, he didn't say exactly that.
He did not, like, there's not a casual case of bronchitis.
He used different verbiage when he said it.
Casual case of bronchitis.
He basically said, like, toot, next stop pneumonia. So you need to get...
He also
That's
didn't
essentially
say that.
what he said. And he was like,
who is this man you see? Because it's not the same as me.
He was basically like, you gotta chill.
Yeah, there it is.
He basically said that. And he was like, here's some medicine. Like, sit your ass down. Stop talking for a while. And I was like, oh, no. And so I decided to listen. That's why this episode is a little late. Because, one, I physically could not speak. And two, even when it was starting to get to this like sultry era where it took a minute now, it took a while, and it just wasn't going to be at all pleasing for you guys to listen to. And I think quality over quantity is best here. You guys deserve like to not listen to horrible voiced people. So
yeah, me and John just had to.
Yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on. I'm totally fine now. I've been taking my antibiotics. I've been fine. I'm resting. I'm doing what I have to do. But my voice still is not obviously where it normally is. And it's a little like it hangs on the balance there.
Yeah.
By the end of the day, it's like gone. And if I speak a lot, it just leaves. So we're not going to do any like business in the beginning of this after we end this whole shebang. Because I want to maintain this voice so I can respond to Ash.
I know, actually, I got a good one today.
And I'm excited for this episode. So we just aren't going to like, there's, you know, I'm sure there's like true crime news and stuff, but we're just not going to touch anything today because I need to be able to like maintain this for the rest of the episode. So we just wanted to update you guys, let you know. Thanks for all the well wishes.
I know. And we missed you
okay.
guys.
Yeah.
It felt, oh my gosh. It felt weird being like away from it for
I know, it's been like almost a full week. So,
which
and also
has never happened.
Everybody be careful because my doctor was saying this kind of virus and like bronchitis and all that is like rampant right now.
Because we've all been like home.
Yeah, and he said it's either COVID or these weird ass viruses and they just don't leave. And that's what's been happening.
Everyone is sick right now. Like everyone has some kind of like respiratory thing going on.
So just take care of yourselves.
And slow down if you're doing too much.
If you are able to slow down, just give yourself a little bit of time when these things happen.
Care is important.
Because I'm learning my lesson.
And a hot bath if you've got respiratory issues with a beautiful bath bomb, honey. Oh, self-care.
That's where it's at.
Central.
So without further ado, let's get into it.
We got a fun one to, well, it's like not fun, but it's
fun in like the spooky sense.
It's fun in the spooky sense, and then we do get into murder, which is not fun at all.
Which is never fun.
Never ever fun.
No.
But I am bringing you today the case of the Kreischer family mansion and also a murder associated with said mansion.
Hell yeah, you are.
It really covers all the morbid bases. We have a rich family from the 1800s, a haunted mansion, and a murder. So
we got everything
like
here.
Fully rounded there.
Fully morbid.
Fully morbid. So if you're from Staten Island, I feel like you've definitely heard of the Kreischer Mansion. It sits on top of a hill named Kreischer Hill at 4500 Arthur Kill Road. And if you're not from Staten Island and you've never heard of this place, you better buckle up and get ready for a wild freaking ride. Over the years, there have been tons of rumors circulating on the island about this old Victorian mansion. It was built in 1885. And like some of the rumors are not true at all. Like they have no substance to them. But some of them, they ring true and there's like evidence and shit. So it's interesting. So to know the Kreischer Mansion is to know the Kreischer family. So let's get into it.
I thought you were going to say to know the Kreischer Mansion is to love the Kreischer Mansion.
I mean, that as well.
To know her is to love her.
To know her is to love her, and to know her is to know her family and where she came from.
Yeah, to fear her.
You have to know everything about her. She starts with a man named Balthazar.
As all good stories do.
Do you understand how hard it was to type the name Balthazar as many fucking times as I had to type it?
I'd end up just naming him like Ball.
In my head, I had to just write Balthazar.
Yeah. Balthazar.
Balthazar, but it was Balthazar.
It is.
And he was born in a Bavarian village in Germany on March 13th, 1813.
Yeah, he was.
So he was not only a Pisces, but he was born into a family known to manufacture bricks. One of these things is not like the other.
I was going to say, I see the correlation.
I just wanted to slip in his zodiac sign per usual.
You should.
I was like, Pisces and bricks.
Yeah, I would be upset if you didn't.
Thank you, I know. So his grandfather actually had his own brick manufacturing business, and then his father had learned the trade. So when the time came, young Balthazar left school early and started working as an apprentice for the family business, learning how to make bricks. He learned all about masonry. I think that's how you say that.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. I think I looked it up. And throughout his training, he actually became like an incredibly skilled worker. So he was 23 years old when he migrated to America, and it was in the year 1836. And that was just 1 year after the Great Fire of New York had destroyed 674 buildings.
Oh, just a casual, complete destruction of an entire city.
Yeah, I think it was literally like 17 blocks.
Wow.
And that was one of 3 fires that happened like way back when in New York. There was like a lot of
Fires were like a real thing.
They still are, actually.
They happen now?
They do. Fires all the time.
I thought that was of the past.
No, it's still a thing. Do you have a gas stove?
Oh, I do.
Fire. Check it out sometime.
Oh, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna investigate this further.
Try it out. Just be careful. Stop, drop, and roll. So the damage done totaled about $20 million back then, which today would be $653 million of damage.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so it was gonna be expensive to fix.
A cool chunk of change.
Yeah, a hot ass chunk of change. So needless to say, there was a lot to rebuild.
Yeah.
And Baltazar was stepping on the scene, ready to get his hands dirty when he came to New York.
He always is.
He got to work right away as a builder, and soon he made the acquaintance of a man named Charles Mumperton.
These names are just really killing it.
Love it.
Charles Mumperton.
Mumperton. So together they opened their own factory in 1845 that produced firebricks, a building material that would become pretty popular after almost 17 blocks of New York City had been destroyed because of fire.
He saw a need and he filled it.
He did.
Were they called Mumperton and Sons?
No, I will tell you what they're called in a second.
Wow.
Actually, right now, great timing.
Opportunity missed.
Their company was first named Kreischer and Mumperton. Do you know why?
I have no idea.
Just kidding.
No.
But over the years, they actually changed their name like a ton. So it's funny that you asked that. Because Charles Mumperton died just 4 years after the business was established. And then Balthasar's nephew stepped on the scene to help out. So at that point, the name changed to B. Kreischer and Co.
Okay.
And then later on, it became B. Kreischer and Son, and like so on and so forth. There was a lot of name changes.
Evolution. It's a part of life.
Am I right? I love like adding self-care things to my daily routine, and one of the things that I've been doing lately is reading a lot more. I know it's like really good for your mind, and it just makes me feel calmer and more at ease. But sometimes I'm like going through my bookshelf and I'm like, I don't even know what to read right now. Like, can somebody just pick for me? And the answer to that question is yes, they can. Scribd gives you instant access to millions of ebooks, audiobooks, magazines, and more, all for one low monthly cost. Sign up with Scribd and make your everyday routines anything but mundane. They got ebooks, audiobooks, podcasts, magazine articles on just about every subject, and so much more. You can learn about career growth, personal development, entrepreneurship. You could even learn how to survive a zombie apocalypse if you wanted to, which, those days are approaching, so you probably should read about it. And if you want to start reading more for fun, for knowledge, or just for new experiences, like me, Scribd's ever-expanding library has got you covered. With Scribd, the world's most fascinating library is at your fingertips, and it's all for just $11.99 a month. That is literally like nothing. You can explore all your interests in any format. You get instant access to Scribd's entire library for less than the cost of a single book. It literally couldn't be simpler. No complicated credits or additional purchases. The amount of just books, ebooks, magazine articles, court transcripts, all my weirdos out there, there's court transcripts on Scribd, which makes research so much easier. That is like my favorite thing about Scribd. It's become a staple in my research process. And guess what, everybody? Right now, Scribd is offering our listeners 2 months of Scribd for only 99 cents. I know you have that. Go to tryscribd.com/MATCP to get your first 2 months for less than $1. That is try.scribd, scribd.com/MATCP. So in between the time of stepping on the scene in the American soil, opening an incredibly successful factory business, and all that jazz, Balthazar somehow found the time to fall in love.
Oh, this is great.
It's beautiful.
This is beautiful.
It's gorgeous. Wow, that was like so Irish.
It's gorgeous.
I've been watching a lot of Below Deck Sailing Yacht, and I love Daisy. and she's Irish. I knew that meant nothing to you until I got to the end.
What? Me too. Love Daisy.
You would. She's a bad bitch. She doesn't rest either.
Good.
So anyways, he fell in love. He met a woman named Caroline Hanchin, I believe is how you say it. And it was the same year he moved, like kismet that he moved that year.
Truly serendipitous.
And Caroline was also a German woman, so it was like two Germans falling in love with each other.
What better?
A love story for the ages.
Absolutely.
They were married for 17 years, and they ended up having 8 children together.
Whoa.
They had 4 girls and 4 boys. I said girls weird there. Girls. Chronologically, it went Catherine, Caroline, Henry, Frederica, and George, who were twins, Louise, Charles, and then lastly, Edward.
Wow.
Now, Henry, one of the little boys there, unfortunately died when he was only 6 years old.
No.
Yeah. And then Caroline, the wife, died in 1853, just a few days after their son Edward was born. I couldn't figure out exactly the circumstances surrounding Henry's death, so my assumption is that it was probably just like an 1800s illness.
I was going to say just the 1800s of it all.
Exactly. And then Caroline is said to have died from childbirth complications, but she must have like really been going through it because it was in the days following.
Oh.
It wasn't like right then and there.
Oh, man. Probably infection.
Yeah, honestly, probably. So by the time Caroline had passed away, the family was actually readying to move to Staten Island. The original factory that Balthazar had opened with Charles Mumpeton back in 1845 had been sold, and it was a Manhattan property. It was just too expensive to keep up with because Manhattan was getting more expensive. And also, they wanted to move because Balthazar had discovered really great clay deposits along the water in Staten Island. And clay is a key ingredient in the firebricks that he was producing.
Yeah, it is.
It was a win-win situation. I literally had to Google if clay was like used to make bricks. I didn't know. Did you know?
I didn't know.
Okay, cool.
So.
I was like, what the fuck are bricks even made of? They're just made of brick.
What even are bricks?
Like, sometimes I think that about jeans, too. Like, I'm like, what's denim? What's denim
I know,
even
when
made
you
of?
really, because we never think about these fabrics or any kind of material.
It's interesting.
That we use literally every day.
Yeah, so there's clay and bricks. Who knew?
Look at that.
You need some rich-ass clay deposits.
You know, you just said that. A million people are going to say, I knew.
That's true. That's very true. But that's okay.
That's okay.
I'm glad that you knew.
We all know or we don't know.
The more you...
Those are really the only options.
There are.
So...
The more you know.
50-50 chance.
Now
here.
I know. And if you don't know, now you know.
Yep. We all know now.
The cold medicine up in here is rife.
I was just going to say Robitussin.
Robitussin. So the new factory, it was being built right along the water in 1854, the year after Caroline had passed. And within a handful of years, Balthazar would actually go on to construct his own beautiful mansion that looked over both the factory and the water. And so he named his place Fairview.
You got to name your place.
Because it had a fair view.
It had a fair ass view.
It did.
I like that.
I love it.
I like that he's just not even, he's like not fucking around.
He's like, fair view, gorge.
That view is fair.
It's fair. I mean, back then, like that, if you were fair, like, whew.
Oh, yeah.
So Balthazar, he had made a fortune by this point in his career, and he was really reaping those benefits. He also had remarried a woman named Matilda.
Yep.
And he had 2 more children with her. And at that time, the area that they were living in was called Androvatville.
Androvatville.
It's a mouthful.
Ooh, that is.
But it was named after a wealthy and powerful family, the Androvets.
Oh.
They had actually been in Staten Island dating back to the 1600s.
Look at them just coming over.
Coming over
first.
But when Balthazar opened up the new factory, he gave jobs to a ton of people in the area, and he became known as like an amazing boss and just an amazing person to work for. He ended up building a ton of homes in the area so that his employees could live basically like on site and not have to travel into work every day.
Wow.
And actually have like time to spend with their family.
Look at this guy.
Like, he actually cared about his workers, and they actually built most of the homes as duplexes so that they could fit 2 families in one building. So still today, it kind of actually made duplexes popular around this area.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So 4 of those houses, by the way, are still standing in what's known as Charleston.
That's so cool.
Isn't that so cool? And that's Charleston, New York, obviously.
Oh, I love that shit.
And they became landmarks in the 90s, so nobody can tear them down.
Nice.
Awesome.
We love to see it.
Yeah, it's really cool. So eventually, because the factory had created so many jobs and because of the way he was known to treat his workers, the townspeople actually decided to rename the town and change the town's name to Kreischerville.
you know you're awesome when the people want to rename the place you live
because you're just so kind.
Just because you're a kind human.
That says immediately I just felt so connected to this story after I heard that. I was like, you know what? I fucking love Baltazar.
That's what you strive to be.
You do.
You strive to be a Baltazar.
And he did. And he took a lot of pride in the respect that he had throughout the town. But he also like wasn't really somebody who seemed to let it go to his head.
Good for him.
And in a time where sick pay was like honestly really unheard of, he offered it to his employees. And they actually, unfortunately, the factory burned down for the first time in 1877. And Baltazar continued to pay his employees while he also had to spend a small fortune rebuilding his factory.
Wow.
So luckily he had the money, obviously, because at the highest point, the business was producing more than 20,000 bricks in one single workday.
Damn.
20,000 bricks.
And he could have been like a greedy McGreederson.
Totally.
Like most of these bosses would be, and it wouldn't matter how much they were making. They would be like, well, it burned down. I have to pay for it. You're not getting your wages.
Like, sorry about it.
Yeah.
And not only did he do that, so he's paying his workers, he's rebuilding his factory. And once his factory was rebuilt, he went on to build a church in the town that still stands today.
Look at him.
Back then it was named the St. Peter's German Evangelical Church, but now it is known as the Free Magyar Reformed Church.
I'd be like, this is the church.
This is the church, yeah.
I would just call it the church.
The church. I would call it Baltazar's Church.
Baltazar's Church. Church of Baltazar.
Church of Kreischerville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't name it Church of Baltazar. I'd name it Church of Alaina, but
you would name.
I want to clarify.
You would name his church your name.
No, if I made this church.
Oh, if you made this church, the Church of Alaina.
Yeah,
I like that.
You know,
I would name mine the Church of Ashkel.
Why?
I don't know. Anyways, he built a church, and he also built a post office branch, and he funded multiple different stores being built in Kreischerville as well.
This guy.
And one of the last things he did before his death in 1886 was build 2 identical homes, aka mansions, for his sons, Charles and Edward.
Look at this guy.
So, like I said, these homes were really mansions. They were built facing each other and as mirror images of each other.
It's a little weird.
It's a little weird. Like, it's confusing, but...
Yeah, it's, wicked weird, but
But it probably wasn't that weird back then. Like, I think it was probably just a flex to be like, look, I just built these 2 motherfucking mansions.
Fucking mirror images of each other.
Like, because
I think it's just like kind of like an eccentric rich person thing that you're just like, like a fun quirk that doesn't really bother anybody. You're just like, that's weird.
And I can do it.
But like, good for you.
Yeah.
For doing it. Like making a mirror image of each other facing each other.
Yeah. It's a lot, but it's cool.
A lot. It's wicked weird, but that's fine.
They stood 2.5 stories tall, and they were built in Victorian style, of course.
The Godge.
Outside, each house had a veranda. I almost just said vernada.
It had 2 vernadas.
It had these things called vernadas. I don't know if you heard of them. No, they were verandas.
That would be the most like 2000s and something of you ever to be like, it had like a vernada.
Yeah, it'd be very young.
Never heard of that.
Of me. They had verandas. They had that like gingerbread trim along the roof.
Ugh.
A corner tower, which you could literally like go inside and climb up to and just like overlook the property.
Like a turret.
Yes, correct. Exactly.
Give me a turret.
Absolutely beautiful. It like overlooked the factory and the water too. So it was gorgeous. There were multiple chimneys because almost all of the rooms in the house, almost all of the 14 rooms in the house had a fireplace.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. All of the fireplaces, of course, were made with Kreischer bricks.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, so if you're ever able to visit the house, take a peek at the bricks along the bottom of each fireplace, and you'll see the name Kreischer, like, basically engraved into each one.
I want to see these.
I know. They're really cool. We should go. Staten Island is
that's not far.
Yeah, you like stone's throw, you know?
Let's go.
Each house was also about 6,700 square feet inside.
Oh, just a little shack.
I'm not great at math, so, like, for my fellow not good at math people... that's massive.
Yeah, big is not the word.
Yeah, it was massive.
Massive.
There were 5 bathrooms and 5 bedrooms in each house.
That's a lot of upkeep.
12-foot ceilings, and then this is my favorite part, this really ornate wallpaper that was made from a combination of leather and linoleum.
Ooh.
Yes, it is like absolutely beautiful.
Leather.
You would totally have it in your like spooky office.
Oh my God, I want to see this.
I'm going to show it to you after.
Cool.
So Charles and Edward, the two brothers, they were going to move into these beautiful mansions, like each of their respective mansions, with a pair of sisters that they had married.
Yeah, they are.
Right?
Yep.
Charles had married Antonia, and Edward was with a woman named Frida.
Yep.
Of course.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
I love all of it.
It seems like both brothers only had one son, by the way, just like to tell you a little bit more about the family. Based on what I could find for family records, I pulled a U when I signed up for Ancestry.
Yeah, you did.
It was hard. There a lot of fucking Baltazars randomly.
Oh yeah, you really have to like commit.
Yeah, exactly. So they're moving into these beautiful mansions, but Baltazar dies just 1 year after the mansions are finished.
R.I.P. Baltazar.
So he died August 25th, 1886 at 73 years old. So like he lived a really long time.
For that time period, yeah.
He lived a super long time.
Because I don't know what the average...
I think I tried to look up the average lifespan in that time period, and it was kind of hairy. Like there was very different answers.
It gets very like you said, it gets hairy because a lot of people are like, oh, you live to be like 20.
Right.
And it's like, that's not necessarily the case.
Right.
So it's like one of those weird...
And it also just like depends on lifestyle.
Well, that's exactly.
There's
a lot of factors.
Yeah, contributing factors. But still, 73 in the 1800s, I do feel like that's a long life.
Seems like it should be.
Yeah,
now I'd be like, oh man.
I know, what a bummer, right?
That's young.
But he did so much throughout his life, so like I'm really proud of Baltazar.
He left a good legacy, man.
He did. So now we're gonna get into like this kind of like wild part of the story.
Let's go.
In my personal opinion, it's an offshoot, just so everybody's aware. But I'm a Gemini, so there's gonna be offshoots everywhere.
There you go.
So I read in every source that his body was transported to the Greenwood Cemetery. Do you have to cough?
No, I'm good.
You looked like you had to cough, and I was like, we can pause.
I think I was just like sucking in air.
I'm screaming. So yes, he was transported to the Greenwood Cemetery in Brooklyn on a block of ice.
Give it to me.
Things that make you go, So I was like, why the fuck would they transport his body on ice? Like, and every source just casually writes that, like, transported his huge body on a block of ice to the cemetery. They also all say that he was huge, and I'm like, we could come up with a better word.
Just huge.
We could say, like, his
magnificent
body.
His triumphantly sized body.
Thank you. Exactly.
Like, make it sound like good for him.
Yeah, like a
but
man.
when you're just like his huge body, it's like, that's not even like... Look, use a thesaurus. That's not even a good word.
It's just like, okay, leave.
Huge.
It's just not nice.
Leave.
Just leave. So I was like, okay, why is he on ice though? And I found out that it would be for a couple of reasons. And I found all of these reasons on Casket and Funeral Supply Association of America.
I'm literally obsessed with this.
Yeah, they've got a website.
They do.
So you need to look into this, by the way, because this is like just one subunit of Casket and Funeral Supply.
Oh, yeah.
Life.
Life.
So, yeah. So around the time that Baltazar died, something called ice caskets were becoming actually popular.
I know I've read about these before.
I think it would actually be like a very interesting thing to somehow incorporate into a future episode.
Yeah.
Like
I love this kind of stuff.
You do. So some of the first patents for these kind of caskets were submitted in 1870, and they made them as late as the 1890s. Like they were around for a while. And they did so because, obviously, the use of ice slowed down the decomp process and allowed the body to be viewed in the home for a couple extra days. It also, and I'm assuming this was not the reason in Baltazar's case, but for some people, it was actually cheaper than having the body embalmed.
That makes sense.
Around that time, embalming was actually a new process, and it was expensive if you wanted it to be done.
Yeah, so you just stick them on a block of ice.
Yeah, but they would just leave the body on a block of slowly melting ice.
Yeah.
And according to that Casket and Funeral Supply Association of America website, the whole process would freak out little kids because they would hear the ice dripping in the night after everybody left.
Oh, yeah.
And they would think that their loved one was just like, it was like blood dripping from the body.
Yeah.
How fucking creepy is that?
That's gnarly.
What a wild time.
That was a wild time for death.
It was.
It truly was.
And apparently it's also where the term icing someone comes from. Like it means you're going to kill them.
There you go.
Isn't that crazy?
I like that.
Yeah. But it also,
that.
it makes sense when you think about the fact that he died in August on Staten Island.
Because they don't want him, if they're, especially for viewing purposes, it makes a lot of sense because back then, that viewing time was like a very sacred, very long, drawn out.
Yeah. And you can imagine, I mean, this is Kreischerville, and like the man who invented Kreischerville,
they're going to pull out all the stops.
Yeah, they're going to want to, everybody's going to want to come visit.
And they don't have AC, so it's not like if you're set up in the living room, they can just keep you cool.
Exactly. So yeah, that's ice caskets.
I love that.
So anywho, when Balthazar died, he left each of his children about $300,000 between cash and assets. In today's money, that would be like if your dad left you $9 million when he died.
Just a sweet ass $9 million.
Fucking $9 million.
$9 million
and that's like
to each of his kids.
Like each kid got that.
Damn.
And then in his will, he put his oldest son, George, and a man named William Linderoth, who just randomly appears in the story. But they were both put in charge of executing his will, and he left the business to his remaining children to be split evenly amongst them, even the girls, which was kind of crazy back then.
Progressive for the time.
It was. George ended up buying his sister's part of the business. So he was just like, I'll take that, thank you. But
thank you.
He compensated them, so whatever.
He bought it.
And they still had about like $900 million. Not actually $9 million.
But a lot.
But they had a lot of money. So then George told Charles, who had been pretty involved up until that point, that he could take it from here. He was like, you don't have to be involved anymore.
You can step aside.
And he made Edward and this guy named William Linderoth and himself the heads of the business. So it's unclear why George didn't want Charles involved with the business. Like, I couldn't find anything to say that they had a feud. Like,
there's no tea.
By all accounts, this family seemed to get along really well, but I don't know.
But power and money come into it, man. It changes people.
And George is the oldest, so he has to like play that card, of course. But Charles didn't really seem to mind too much. He actually had a bit of a me moment, and he traveled around Europe for a little bit. And he actually went on to work for another brick company. He kind of stuck it to the man.
All right, cool.
He was like, I don't need you.
I don't need you.
Rich people self-care and sticking it to the man. We love that for you, Charles.
Rich people self-care.
Like, that's just traveling to Europe. Like,
yeah.
That's rich people self-care.
Yes.
Exactly. Guys, nowadays, staying in touch with the people that we love is more important than ever, and the Skylight digital photo frame makes it so easy. You can either email photos to it or upload them from the app anytime, anywhere. Last year, I was thinking about what I should get Alaina's mother-in-law for Christmas because, I mean, Alaina's kids obviously call her nanny because she's their grandma, and I kind of feel like she's also my grandma because she's really awesome. So I was like, I got to get her something that's going to make her really happy. And I said to myself, we're going to get that woman a Skylight frame because pictures of her grandkids make her super happy. And now I go over to her house and I see all the cute pictures that she has, and they do make her so happy. This is the thing too. It is so easy to set up. It sets up in under 60 seconds, and even the least tech-savvy person can use it. I also got my actual grandmother one, and I love her, but she's not very tech-savvy, and she can use it. It literally looks like a real photo frame, and it adds a beautiful touch to your home. It really does. It's like a very peaceful, serene kind of thing to have in your house. It's got a gorgeous 10-inch touchscreen, and you can swipe through the photos with your finger, and even tap to thank the person who sent you a photo. Alaina's youngest likes to swipe through the ones on her nanny side until she gets to a picture of herself, which I respect. Also, there's a 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you don't love your Skylight, they're going to offer you a full refund. Preload it with your favorite photos for a special Mother's Day gift and surprise them with photos that they didn't even know you had. You can also tap the heart button and it will let the sender know that you love the photo. So if you have a Skylight frame, know that. It makes the frame so interactive and fun to use. Now, as a special holiday offer, you can get $10 off your purchase of a Skylight frame when you go to skylightframe.com and enter code MATCP. That's right, to get $10 off your purchase of a Skylight frame, just go to skylightframe.com and enter code MATCP. That's SKYLIGHTFRAME.com and use code MATCP. So they take over the business. Charles, he goes away. He just does his thing.
Bye.
And the business actually was doing all right for a while. But then Another fire came in 1891, and the factory burned to the ground for the second time.
My goodness.
Which is, like, ironic because they're building fire bricks. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So even though they were able to rebuild it quickly enough, it really wasn't smooth sailing like the first time because, Balthazar wasn't around
I was just going to say you're missing a vital piece.
Yeah, you really are. Now, they weren't bankrupt quite yet, but they were definitely making their way there. And there were also rumors spreading in the town that the three partners were not necessarily on great terms.
Uh-oh.
Now, like I said, according to the family, George and Edward got along just fine. But then other people close to the family, like family friends, and even actually some of the workers at the factory, they had like different standards, it seems, when it came to getting along. They were like, I don't really know if they are getting along that well. Like,
by our standards.
Exactly. They disagreed, and they said, they were like, no, like, they're not just good old brother buds. Like, I think something's going on. I think there's some ruffled feathers here. So the rumors surrounding their relationship only grew after Edward's death in June of 1894.
Oh.
Edward's body was found on June 8th, laying next to a gun, which had inflicted a single shot into his head.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm. So it was eventually ruled a suicide, but it was a questionable suicide. People were not so sure that this was suicide. Edward had actually been at the factory just before he was found, and he seemed to be completely happy and in good spirits according to all the workers, which, you know how that can kind of be like a toss-up. Like,
oh, of course.
But people who didn't feel like he would have done this to himself, they actually started pointing the finger at William Linderoth there.
That random guy.
And yeah, like he literally just steps
You're
on
the
scene.
rando.
I think he's just like a family friend. Like he grew up with the family and everything. And Balthazar actually like really respected him, obviously. He appointed him to kind of like
help run everything.
Exactly. So, but other people were not so fond of this guy, and they were like, maybe you have something to do with this.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you led him to do this. And according to Miami Ghost Chronicles article written on this, great article, check it out, I'll link it.
Yeah.
The factory workers completely hated William Linderoth, and they actually chased him out of the factory one day and demanded that he leave town.
Whoa.
So they were like, get the fuck out of here.
Wow. That's not just asking him to resign.
No, that's chasing him out of the town with like pitchforks, essentially.
Damn.
So those who didn't blame him, which didn't really seem like a lot of people, of course, they pointed the finger at Edward's wife, Frida, and rumors started going around Kreischerville about her and a doctor from a neighboring town. And these rumors were alleging that she was having some kind of affair with this doctor, who was Dr. Walker Washington.
Oh, she was.
He
100%.
Sounds
Dr. Walker Washington, you were definitely fucking him.
It also just sounds like something that would be on like Days of Our Lives.
Yeah.
Like it's like Dr. Carlisle.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So those people who were like, no, she was having an affair with Dr. Walker Washington, they said Edward must have found out somehow and been so distraught that he felt the only way to deal with this was to end his life.
Oh, that's like so tragic.
Now, giving like kind of, did you say like giving credence to these rumors?
Sure.
Yeah. Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
Cool. Frida did end up marrying Dr. Washington.
Yeah, because they were fucking.
About a year and a half after Edward died.
Absolutely.
But I do wonder if the rumors about her and the doctor started before they were married or if they started after. Because I can totally see the people like pulling that like, she moved on so quickly card.
Yeah.
You know? It's like if they started before, I feel like there must have been something that started them. But if they started after the marriage, I think it was the whole she moved on so quickly thing.
My instinct.
I mean, Walker Washington sounds hot as hell. So
my instinct.
I'm never going to blame Frida.
It was going.
Yeah. And here's the other thing. She and Edward had an 11-year-old son together.
Oh, boy.
So I could see probably part of the reason that she moved on and remarried, which like some people felt was too quickly, was maybe for some kind of stability for her and her child.
Security of some sort.
You know?
Yeah, I can see that.
Because, you know, like obviously the Kreischer family is well off, but she married into the family. She's not blood.
That's true.
You never know.
So you got to be careful.
Yeah, you got to cross your T's and dot your I's.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, by all accounts, she was very torn up over Edward's death. And people who have heard a woman crying in the Kreischer Mansion in modern days think that this might be Frida's ghost crying like on a loop over Edward's death.
Oh, that's so sad.
It is. It's horrible. Now, so that's that whole thing about Frida. But Edward's brother Charles, who again had been removed from the business in the early days, he was incredibly upset by the loss of Edward. And he actually held seances in his own mansion, trying to get answers as to what happened and whether or not his brother actually killed himself.
Oh, wow.
So that could be another source of all the supposed hauntings of his mansion, which is the only one still standing.
I gotta see it.
So it's a common belief among people who have studied the history of the mansion throughout the years that Charles might have opened some kind of portal and not properly closed it during these seances.
Oh, damn.
Leading to a whole bunch of spirit hullabaloo.
A slew of spooky shit.
A slew of hullabaloo.
That's right.
I had to Google how to spell hullabaloo, by the way.
I love that you had to spell it right in your own notes.
I cannot have typos in my notes because it red underlines it. And
yeah, that is frustrating.
It's telling me that I'm wrong, and I'm like, I have to be right.
And you're like, no, that's a word.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hullabaloo. In 1899, the Kreischer's business was lost, unfortunately, and the factory ended up being auctioned off.
Oof.
Weirdly enough, an Androvet family member, Captain Peter Androvet, bought it at auction.
Yeah.
Now, because he respected the family so much, he did keep the name of the company, and he went on to run it for almost 30 years.
Wow.
Until it closed in 1927.
The roaring 20s.
The roaring 20s. But by 1936, they tore down the building, and Kreischerville was simply a memory by that point.
Damn.
Because in 1916, the town's name changed again, this time from Kreischerville to Charleston. Now, the reason given for this name change was that it was just after the First World War had come to a close, and this is like absolutely horrible, but people weren't too fond of hearing German-related names or sentiments. In Kreischerville, Kreischer is obviously a German name, so people were like annoyed about it.
Okay.
But the book American Murder Houses, written by Steve Leto, a really great book. I actually shared it with you.
You did.
And a few other sources suggested that the town's name was changed to Charleston in honor of Charles Kreischer.
I was going to ask that.
So they still kind of like got there.
Yeah, they
nod
get
to the
it in there.
Kreischers.
It's in there.
Yeah.
Because I immediately thought that when you said Charleston. I was like, oh.
Yeah, a lot of people think that's why, and a lot of people claim like it's fact that that's why.
I'll take it.
So, unfortunately, Balthazar's mansion was destroyed by fire in the 1930s.
My God.
And Edward's mansion either burned down during the Great Depression or it was torn down.
My money is on burned.
My money is on burned because everything is burning.
My God. Fire seemed to be like the #1 serial killer here.
Like literally.
What the fuck?
The theme of this story is when a fire starts to burn, right? It starts to spread. Right? You know what I mean?
I don't, but...
Have you never heard that song?
What is that song?
I don't know. I think it's like called Fireburn or something.
Fireburn?
It's probably not.
It's called Fireburn.
It's called Fireburn.
Well, for people who made firebricks...
I know.
There's a lot of fires happening.
Well, people are like, was this family cursed? Like, is that
because
what it is?
Because of their firebrickness?
I think it just adds to the story. I think it was like just a lot of like series of unfortunate events.
Yeah, I think it was just the 1800s of it all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. These are also like very spread out events. Like it wasn't like everything burned.
It wasn't like
year
a
after year.
fire. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So more about the descent of this family. George died in 1910 in New York. Charles died in 1917, also in New York. And now the only members of the Kreischer family... Oh, no, there's no members still. That said memories.
You're like, the only members are the no members.
Are 0 members still alive.
Are none of them.
Yeah, the only memories of the Kreischer family come from the Kreischer bricks that actually still line some of the walkways in Charleston.
I gotta see these.
And, of course, from Charles's haunted mansion that sits on top of Kreischer Hill.
The Haunted Mansion.
The Haunted Mansion. The mansion itself was declared a landmark in 1968.
Good.
And in 1982, it was placed on the National Register of Historic Places.
I love when shit happens
which
like
again,
that. Which you can't touch them.
Exactly. It's good. You cannot touch them. You can't tear them down. So over the years, there have been tons and tons of stories about the history of the place, and a ton of Staten Island's occupants think that this place is haunted as fuck.
I do.
Now, this woman, Tina Cassman Dunn, she works with the Tottenville Historical Society, and she told Inside Edition, Staten Island is an old community full of history, but everyone's always interested in this house. They always want to know if the ghost stories are true.
I do.
So I'm going to tell you all about these ghost stories.
Bring on the spooky.
So, the first paranormal experiences reported from the mansion actually came from the 90s, when part of the home was converted into a restaurant. Very interesting. So during that time, a man called Joe McBratney owned the mansion with his wife, and allegedly at this time, the restaurant was actually a front for the mob.
Oh.
Yes.
We're going there.
And this is interesting because it's not the first well, it is the first, but it's not the last time that the mob is going to be mentioned in relation to the Kreischer Mansion.
Staten Island.
Staten Island. So according to the New York Times, the FBI was actually able to confirm that a Bonanno soldier met with a Gambino family captain at the Kreischer restaurant in 1998.
Damn.
Now, just to explain the soldier / family captain of it all, for anybody who's not familiar with the hierarchy of the mafia, a soldier is kind of like level 1 of the mafia, I guess you could say. Soldiers are also sometimes referred to as made men. They're the ones who have like the most to prove to the family because they have to take this vow of silence called the omerta, which basically just says that they're going to keep their mouth shut about any crime-related activity.
Oof.
And obviously, that's something that's taken quite seriously.
Yeah.
Now, a captain, from my understanding, is one step above a soldier, and they're the person who reports to the underboss, who then reports to the actual boss, aka the Don in some cases. Yes.
I did a whole project on like mafia and mob families and like organized crime and all that in college when I was taking a criminology class. It was fascinating.
I wish that we could like dive more into it, like on Morbid, but it's a scary thing to broach, you know.
Mama's staying over here.
Yeah, Mama's staying.
To that.
We're gonna like dip our toe into the pond for a second, but yeah, but it is. I find it so fascinating,
it's really interesting.
I also grew up watching Mob Wives, so
and we also grew up like at least like when I grew up, it was like right next to Boston.
Oh yeah.
When like Whitey was just like running the streets.
Well, and Papa was so fascinated by Whitey that I think we talked about it as a family a lot.
We did, yeah. And he was, you know, like it was just like always a part of discussion.
Yeah, it's fascinating but fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, in New York, authorities believe that there are about 5 different families within the mafia there. And 2 out of those 5 families, interestingly, have connections to the Kreischer Mansion.
Look at the Kreischer Mansion.
Yes. And again, just like a weird little aside for people who are kind of like up on their mafia knowledge, if you do find it intriguing, Joe McBratney's father, James, was actually killed by John Gotti.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
You know that guy?
Big fucking deal.
Yeah.
And again, according to the New York Times, James's murder was the one that actually got John Gotti into the Gambino family.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, just like a crazy aside there. So it is interesting that during a time when the Kreischer Mansion had more connections to the mafia than I think the original family would be too happy about, the paranormal activity started ramping up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
People are dying.
Yeah.
So people who worked in the restaurant would hear voices all the time when the restaurant was already closed and like they were cleaning up for the night. One busboy who worked at the restaurant said there was this one specific night where he was working and he kept hearing voices coming from the basement. It sounded like there was like some kind of argument going on between a couple of people. And all of a sudden he started hearing doors slamming. So he's like, what the fuck is going on down there? And he goes downstairs and there's nothing there. Like,
I hate that.
Nothing is going on. But he's like, I fucking heard it.
Like people actually slamming doors.
Like I heard slamming doors. I heard people yelling at each other and I go down and there's nobody down here. Like
that always freaks me out when it's like a scene that they hear, like of people yelling or arguing and then it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, why was a whole scene playing out down here?
It's freaky. Now, at least that busboy just heard the spooky stuff.
Uh-oh.
Because other employees at the time would run to Joe McBratney and tell him that they'd just been grabbed, especially in the basement.
What?
And they described the feeling like somebody's hands holding on to them and it like almost like holding them back from going upstairs.
Oh.
No, thank you.
No.
Now,
I quit.
Oh, I would put in my resignation that day.
Yeah.
So people who worked there were not the only ones subject to the hauntings because like actual patrons who were coming to eat at the restaurant would just be sitting there and all of a sudden they would hear it. Doors are just like slammed all the time in this place. They would hear doors slamming Or they would see a picture literally just fly off the wall across the room for no fucking reason at all.
Damn.
I mean, pictures usually don't fly across the room for a reason.
I was going to say that I would love to know a reason.
I would too. But they would literally be sitting there enjoying, like, I don't know, some pasta.
And then boom.
Just boom. Like, what? Ooh. And multiple people have said they've had this experience there.
This is very mafia because it's very, like, aggressive. It is like, very just aggressive. Angry.
It is. Now, around this time, like while the restaurant was going on, a rumor started going around that a German cook had either killed himself or been killed in the restaurant's kitchen. Now, there's no concrete evidence to support that theory, so it could just be a rumor. Or maybe it's related to the mob and it was one of those hush-hush situations.
It's one of those on a need-to-know basis.
Right. But people will hear like pots and pans slamming around in the kitchen when no one's in the kitchen. So, I don't know. It's a little weird. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. People honestly don't always realize that physical symptoms like headaches, teeth grinding, even digestive issues, which we all know I have, can be indicators of stress. And honestly, don't even forget about doom scrolling, something I participate in very often. Sleeping too little, something I don't participate in. Sleeping too much, I do participate in. Undereating, no. And overeating, yes. See, a lot of these applied to me, and I'm sure a lot of them apply to you, because what we all have in common is that we're all stressed TF out. Everybody's stressed. There's a lot going on in the world right now. There's a lot going on at work. Sometimes there's a lot going on at home. And guess what? Stress shows up in all kinds of ways. And in a world that's always telling you, you got to do more. You have to sleep less. You have to grind all the time. Why? Why do I have to do that? Here's your reminder from me to you. Take care of yourself. Do less and maybe try some therapy. I'm a huge proponent of therapy. I think we all know that at this point. I've been in therapy for like years, honestly, like since my childhood. Took off a little break, went back to it, still in it, going strong. And it just feels good to work on yourself. And honestly, for me, I noticed that like the old Ash, who wasn't in therapy, would have gotten really angry at things. And the new Ash is just so peaceful and zen. It's so helpful. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anybody on camera if you don't want to. It is much more affordable than in-person therapy. Give it a try and see if online therapy can help lower your stress. Morbid listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/morbid. That's BETTERHELP.com/morbid. You know, when I sometimes say working out, sleeping in, taking vitamins, I do love Queen Herbie, but I also want to tell you those vitamins are Care of vitamins. With Care of's compostable daily packs and sustainably sourced ingredient efforts, they're aiming to help you take care of not only your wellness, but also the wellness of the environment. Care of's personalized packs are made from plant-based compostable film that includes wood pulp and a fermented blend of corn, cassava root, and sugarcane, so you can feel good about the impact your vitamins are having not only on your health, but on the planet. Care of is a subscription service that ships high-quality, personalized vitamin supplements and powders conveniently to your door every month, and this is how you're going to go about that. You're going to log on to their website and you're going to take a quiz, a super in-depth quiz about your health goals and your lifestyle, and you're going to get personally tailored recommendations based on your answers. I took the quiz. It's super easy. You know all the answers to it. You'll always get 100. You'll always pass. Just kidding. No one's grading you. They're just going to give you stuff. They're going to give you vitamins that are going to help you throughout your health and wellness journey. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I am on a health and wellness journey, and I've been taking the vitamins that Care of gave me, and I definitely see an improvement in my day-to-day overall feeling, you know? I absolutely love Care of, and I think you will too. One of my favorite things about it is that it says my name on it, so it makes me feel like we're friends, and it will tell me a fun fact or give me a challenge about the day. If you want to try it, I totally think you should. And for 50% off your first Care of order, go to takecareof.com and enter code morbid50. Again, that is 50% off your first Care of order by going to takecareof.com and entering code morbid50. Now, even the owner at the time, Joe McBratney himself, had quite a few paranormal experiences in the house, between feeling like he'd just been stabbed while walking through the dining room in particular.
Oh.
He felt hands touch him just like his employees had, like pulling him back, like holding him. And then this experience that he recalled to Nick and Katrina from Paranormal Lockdown.
Ooh.
It fully sent me. So he told these 2 paranormal investigators that one night he was sleeping in one of the upstairs bedrooms. They were doing like a ton of work to the mansion. So I think he was like, I just have to sleep here. He woke up in the middle of the night and there was a woman standing in the doorway of his room.
No.
And he said she didn't say anything to him, but he said, I just know she was trying to tell me something. And he was fully convinced that this woman was a Kreischer.
Holy shit.
Fully convinced. And he said he felt like anyone connected to the house, like living there, staying there day in and day out, was in great danger.
Oh.
And he told them, quote, this house consumed me. I had to run from it.
Wow.
And run from it he did.
I always wonder in those scenarios where someone's like, I woke up and there was someone just standing in my doorway or at the end of my bed. I'm like, what was your reaction?
Like, did you scream?
Like, I don't want to know your thoughts. I want to know your physical actions that you took to get the fuck out of that room.
Honestly.
Because no one ever says they like ran out of the room screaming or something.
No.
Someone's in my room. I'm grabbing the golf club. I'm swinging for them. When it goes whoosh right through them, I'm out.
Then you have to walk through them. And what if they go into you?
No,
what if they becometh you?
I'm out.
What if you becometh so ghost?
I becometh so lame at that point.
So
and
Kreischer.
I leave.
You can't.
I'm out. I just always wonder. I'm like, how is there not a U-shaped hole in the wall? Because I would
How are you not Kool-Aid Man?
I would literally be like, oh yeah, and just run through.
No, you'd be like, oh no, at Dane Cook.
I truly would.
I don't know, but I also want to know what their reaction is like after. Like, did you just go back to sleep?
And some people will be like, I was just so tired that I went back to sleep, and I'm like, no.
The adrenaline.
You. No, you didn't.
The adrenaline coursing through your veins at that point, you did not go back to sleep.
Because you know what? I'll see my sleep paralysis demon. I know it's a sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah.
I don't sleep for hours.
I will see like Luxa or Franklin's shadow walking through the room and know full well that it's my fucking cat and be like, I don't know, can't chance it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to sleep.
Stay up for hours.
If I accidentally wake up at 3 a.m., I'm like, well, I guess I'm up until the sun comes up.
Oh my God, I fucking hate when that happens. I hate it so much. And I'm like, I end up like hiding under my covers and I'm like, okay, go back to sleep, go back to sleep.
See, I'm just like, I know there was a reason I was woken up at this time and I don't want to be awake at this time.
Oh, it freaks me out so much. So yeah, it freaked Joe out too, and he was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here, and he was like, bye.
Good for him.
So around 2000 is when the mansion changed hands over, and it was to a developer named Isaac Yomtovian, I believe is how you pronounce it. I looked
good to me.
to see how you pronounce it, and I couldn't find anything.
It sounds great.
I think it is. And he bought the mansion for $1.4 million.
Damn.
Now, he said that he had to put another $1 million into restoring the mansion back to its original glory. Because when he first bought the mansion, he heard all these kind of stories about paranormal happenings, and people would come up to him with pictures that they'd taken in or outside the house. And there's some pictures, which I'll definitely post. If you look in the windows, like there's this one picture of people outside, and if you look in the window, there is a ghost woman in the window. I showed it to you when I decided to do this case. Yeah, wild. But look at it again. It's wild. And you'll just see like people like lurking in the back. Oh, it creeps me out. But that didn't really freak him out. And instead of being deterred from the place, he actually just poured some good ass vibes in there. He said,
good for him.
He literally said, quote, precisely because of that, I thought it's a good idea to renovate and preserve and bring this house back to its original shape.
I love that.
He was like, maybe the ghost activity is so rampant because everybody changed it.
I think that's wonderful.
And he was like, I'm going to restore it.
That's what I would want to do. Exactly. I always love when people want to restore it to like the original thing. Like,
and he did.
Like the people in Salem, how they did that into the last live show we did.
Oh my God, the Daniels house?
Yeah, the Daniels house. They restored it to the exact like,
oh my God,
out of this world.
If you ever get a chance to stay there, it was one of the coolest fucking places I've ever gone to.
And the vibes are just right.
The vibes are good there.
They're right.
They're creepy, but they're not threatening.
No, because I think that the house appreciates that it is what it is.
Houses have energy. Even if they're not haunted, I think houses have energy. Every house.
Vibes are there.
Yeah, vibes.
Vibes.
So, Yomtovian wanted to get the good vibes rolling. So he got to work and he started painting the outside of the house back to what was popular in the time that it was built. It's a mustard yellow, maroon, and green color.
Beautiful.
I'm going to be honest. It's like not gorge, but, it's historic.
Yeah.
And then he restored different parts of the house that had fallen into disrepair over the years. Now, he also has like all kinds of knickknacks in there that are like of the original time period. And he has the windows dressed in like dark draping curtains.
I love that.
And of course, all the Kreischer bricks are still in the fireplaces, which I think is so fucking cool. Now, Mr. Yomtovian hasn't actually shared any of his paranormal experiences, if he's had any, but he did own the mansion while one of the biggest tragedies occurred there. So a man named Joseph Young was hired to be the caretaker of the mansion. He was to live on the property, to make sure that there was always somebody there, and basically just to keep up with the place. Now, Joseph Young was a former Marine, and he was originally from Florida. And he had made some not so great connections while he moved out to Staten Island. He was an associate of the Bonanno crime family.
Eek.
One of the 5 most notorious mafia families in New York.
That's
Now,
a choice.
I said before that a soldier is like the lowest quote-unquote ranking in the mafia's hierarchy. Associates go even below that.
Oh, wow.
Now, I got so fucking into this part. According to the FBI's mafia chart, an associate is, quote, an individual who is part of a crew but has not been made and commits crimes under the protection or direction of made members and remits a share of his illegal proceedings to his direct made superior.
And is made like you've killed someone, essentially? Maybe.
You've proved yourself.
You've proved yourself.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not in the mafia.
I don't know. I don't either. I'm not even going to think about it ever again.
Anyways,
don't worry about it.
So essentially, an associate kind of, to me at least, sounds like a soldier in training.
Okay.
It's like you prove yourself, and then I think you prove yourself. It's like steps. Like you prove yourself even further when you become a soldier.
Yeah.
So the soldier that Joe was reporting to was a man named Gino Galestro. Galestro had met Joe while he was a bouncer at Fresca's restaurant in Tottenville. And as the two of them got to know each other more, Galestro kind of felt like Joe was someone he could trust, and which is like pretty big for a mafia person to trust you.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he knew that he was someone who would be interested in joining the family, if you will. And Galestro also needed a favor. He had somebody that he wanted Joe to take out.
Ooh.
He had told Joe that 39-year-old Robert McKelvey, who he claimed was another associate, had been bragging around town about being associated with the family and like different jobs that he got to be a part of. And on top of the bragging, Galestro also said that Robert owed him money.
Not a good thing.
Not good. So Galestro wanted Robert McKelvey dead, and he wanted Joe, known among the family as Joe Black, to do it for him.
Okay.
So they settled on a price of what the FBI reports as $10,000, but literally almost every news outlet reports it as $8,000.
Huh.
So I'm not sure if the outlets reporting are considering the amount that Joe would have had to share with the family, and that's why the numbers are different. Like they take off like a certain percentage.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter because no amount of money is worth a human's life.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So it's going to get bleak here.
I can feel it.
Real bleak. The plan was put into motion on the night of March 29th, 2005 at the Kreischer Mansion.
Ooh.
Joe was there with a couple of other associates, and somehow he was able to convince Robert McKelvey to come out to the property that night to chat with him, he said. Immediately upon arrival, Robert McKelvey was ambushed. As he walked through the front door, Joe had been hiding behind the door of the foyer, and he jumped out and stabbed Robert immediately.
Oh, damn.
So Robert McKelvey tries running back outside, and he actually makes it a little ways down the property, but Joe catches up, tackles him to the ground, and starts trying to strangle him.
Damn.
Now, it was too much of a struggle for Joe to strangle him, so he started dragging Robert to the garden pond on the front side of the mansion and drowned him to death.
Holy shit.
In like a shallow pond, which weirdly is grave-shaped.
Oh, that's so gross.
So gross. So he stabbed him, strangled him, and then drowned him
in a pond.
In a pond, yes. It's
Holy
like
shit.
Like a little garden pond.
Oh, that's even creepier. I don't know why.
It is creepier because it's supposed to be this really beautiful, peaceful
like
thing.
serene.
Like people would sit out there and maybe have like tea or write down.
And you're just like brutally drowning another human in there.
You're just decimating the area.
Ugh.
So when Joe was sure that Robert was dead, he went back inside to all the other guys that were there, and they all went back out together to drag Robert's body to a shed in the back. And now this is literally the most horrific part of this entire story, other than him being brutally murdered. They all went to fucking Dunkin' Donuts after this.
Jesus. That's some mafia stuff right there.
Are you joking me?
No.
Just a quick snack break before heading to Home Depot to buy the supplies that they would need to dismember a human's body.
My God.
So when they got back to the mansion after their quick Dunkin' and Home Depot trip, they also brought along a mattress into the kitchen and then brought Robert's body inside to place on top of the mattress while they dismembered him so that the mattress would soak up all the blood.
Oh,
Like, they were very prepared for this.
I always just think whenever you like talk about the process here, like dragged a mattress in there, I'm like, what were you guys talking about?
That's the thing.
What was the vibe here? Because to me, it's like, I don't know. Like, this is just like House of Horrors kind of shit.
Oh, just wait.
And it's like, were you talking?
I feel like
they were.
I feel like they were.
I feel like they were just chatting.
I don't know.
Like,
what
that's
about.
the vibe I get here.
Well, and I'm like, did you bring your coffee? Like, was your coffee just like your Dunkin'? Your beautiful Dunkin' was just sitting alongside while you like literally did the worst thing
like
you
the
could
whole
possibly
thing
do?
Just feels like it's so foreign to my brain to like
good.
comprehend, which is a good thing. Should be to all of ours.
Yeah.
But I just think about it. I'm like, what were you talking about while you were doing that? I
And
think about that in a lot of cases. Like, what were you doing?
How do you just sit there and do this to a person?
Yeah.
If I don't say like, have a nice day to someone that I don't even know, like, I don't know, like at the drive-thru or something, I'm like, well, I'm a shitty person and like I'm gonna go to limbo forever because I suck. So
I'm on my way to purgatory because of that.
That's really funny. On my way to purgatory. Like, can we put that on a shirt?
I love that.
I really like that a
On
lot.
my way to purgatory.
Like, that spoke to me right there.
I feel that.
Because I think I'm on my way there. Because I don't say have a good day every time. I actually,
You do.
I'm very
I was
much
just
do.
going to say you wave at everybody.
Yeah, I'm friendly. But
You
like
are.
when I'm having a day and I don't want to be friendly, like I think that's bad. And I'm like, these people could take themselves to this level of place. I don't know.
I cannot.
So they finished dismembering the body and they brought what was left down to the mansion's basement and burned the remains in the furnace.
Oof.
Eventually, they discarded the ashes and whatever was left, like including bone fragments, into the septic tank.
Oh.
Yeah. And after that, they had about a year to go about their own lives, knowing full well that they had murdered a man and just brutalized his body.
Decimated him.
I know I already said that, so I didn't want to say it again.
Oh.
So, but you can say it.
You know what? That's smart.
Yeah. You gotta like sparingly.
You gotta vary it up.
So Robert McKelvey's sister reported him missing very quickly after the murder, but the police took a while to figure out what happened, most likely knowing that organized crime definitely played a role into this missing persons case.
Smells fishy.
It does. It wasn't until a year after Robert McKelvey was killed that the police actually learned what happened to him. And they learned what happened to him because another associate of the Bonanno crime family named, I don't know if it's Stephen or Stefan, I'm going to say Stephen.
Go with it.
And the last name is Ciccali. So Stephen Ciccali became what the mob would call a turncoat.
Oh,
And
I know what that
He
is.
started cooperating with the feds to save his own skin, which is a scary thing to do if you're in the position that he's in, I'm sure, but a great thing to do because they could actually discover like a man's body and, know what happened, at least. Like his I mean, it's horrible that his family has to know what happened, but they don't have to wonder where he is. You know what
exactly.
I mean?
You want to know.
It's a
some
horrible
kind of closure.
situation, but
There's really no good here.
there's none.
There's no positive outcome.
Yeah. So the police were coming in hot on his tail, and he obviously knew that telling them everything about the murder that happened in the Kreischer Mansion would at least get him some kind of deal in this case. So he spilled everything he knew to the authorities, everything that I just told you. And then they had to go out to the mansion, obviously, to verify this story. So while they were investigating at the mansion, all of the evidence pieced together and told them the same story that he had. There were bone fragments and what they described as personal effects of McKelvey found in the septic system.
Jesus.
McKelvey's blood had actually stained one of the stairs leading down to the basement.
Wow.
Unfortunately, the furnace, though, had been replaced since the murder because before this investigation even started, there were plans to convert the mansion and use the land around it for an assisted living facility for seniors. Thank gosh that hadn't happened yet.
Can you imagine?
Like they're having to clear all these senior citizens out of this place to investigate a gruesome Yes.
Both.
Murder. Like, imagine, thank gosh that hadn't happened yet.
No.
So the fact that they weren't going to be able to get any evidence from the furnace really wasn't too much of a hit for the prosecution working the case, because they had so much other evidence from other parts of the mansion, and they had an informant wrapped around their fingers at this point. He was going to testify as well when the time came. Obviously, you got to testify if you want that deal.
Oh, boy.
So the time came in May 2006 for all the men involved to be arrested and indicted on charges of murder, assault, arson, robbery, carjacking, loan sharking, and illegal firearm possession.
So, like, a very light list.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Joe Black, Gino Galestro, Steven Ciccali, and 2 other mob associates were all named in the indictment. So there were 2 other men there that night. Jeez. I just don't want to say too many names.
I was gonna say just some guys. There's some dudes in there.
The case, though, didn't go to trial until 2008. But when it did, Gino Galestro actually pleaded guilty to ordering the hit. He was out on bail when he ordered the hit for another case that was against him, obviously. And for this case, he ended up getting sentenced to 20 years in prison.
Wow.
Which people were like, that was lenient. But it was really, I think it was just like the charges that he had, that was the best they could do.
Yeah.
Now, the informant obviously testified against all of the men involved in the case, and he was eventually let out of jail with time served and was quickly ushered into the witness protection program.
I was gonna say.
What a deal. You're there for a fucking murder, you snitch, and then
you become a rat, and then you just get to...
And then you get, like, the deal of a lifetime. You literally, exactly, you get to start a whole new life. How... Okay, yeah, I'm glad you said that. This man gets to start a whole new life while he was there, and involved in the process of taking away another man's life.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that, like, you got to give and take a little in these cases, but that seems incredibly unfair to me.
Oh, yeah. There's no black and white injustice here.
There's not. It is
just a bunch of gray area.
I, like, thought about how fucked up that was that he got to, like, go in the witness protection program. Like, I think that's fucked up.
But when you really think about it, it's like, wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the whole thing is just...
That is not fair.
Woof.
So Joseph Young was convicted not only on murder charges, but on what would make up an entire double-sided PDF of other charges, I'm going to tell you, all of which had been committed while he was working under Gino. He had attempted to set a car on fire because the owner of the car had, like, crossed Gino in some way.
Of course.
He robbed an illegal massage parlor in New Jersey at gunpoint. He had illegally obtained firearms and then taken them across state lines and also scratched off the serial numbers. He had literally burned down a home in January of 2006 while 2 people were sleeping inside.
Oh my God.
Luckily, nobody died, but one person almost died of a heart attack.
Yeah, that's like attempted murder.
Truly. He also extorted somebody for money in October of 2005, which I'm sure there was a lot more of that going on.
Oh, I'm sure.
Just like not reported.
Just once in 2005.
Yeah, just one time.
He dabbled in that real quick.
Yeah, he conspired to rob a pizza place, of course. He assaulted a man with a police-issue baton and a crowbar because the man was a mechanic whose business rivaled another fellow crew member. They broke his kneecaps that night.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't even say that without my kneecaps being like, don't hurt me.
Oh.
And carjacking.
My God.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by one of my favorite things in the entire world, the Jordan Harbinger Show. If you want a new podcast to look forward to each week, maybe one that's entertaining, informative, and packed with actionable content, I know you do, of course you do, because the average podcast listener has 6 shows in rotation, which is weird because, like, I do, so I guess I'm an average podcast listener. Well, anyways, this isn't about me, it's about you. You're most likely not just listening to Morbid, and that's all right. We can talk about it later. No, I'm just kidding. In fact, we really want to share a podcast that you should add to your list and, like, move it all the way to the top, like shining star of the podcasts, the Jordan Harbinger Show. It is a top shelf podcast, and it was named Best of Apple in 2018. So don't ignore me. I don't like to be ignored. I'm a Gemini. I'm so social. Listen to this one. Listen to it. You're going to love it. Jordan dives into the mindsets of super duper fascinating people. He's had athletes on, authors, scientists. He's had mobsters on. That goes along with today's episode. He's had spies, and he's had hostage negotiators and even negotiators. Both. Crazy, right? Harbinger has an undeniable talent for getting his guests to share, like, just never been heard before stories and just things that are going to make you go, huh, I could change the way that I do that, or, oh, I didn't know that. I'm going to apply that to my life. Without fail, he pulls out tactical bits of wisdom in each episode from every guest, all with the noble cause to make you a more informed, critical thinker who can better operate in today's world. It's like kind of a guide to how to live your life. Do you guys remember Ned's Declassified? It's sort of like that, but better. I honestly think there isn't a better podcast to listen to casually or seriously to just expand your worldview. He also has this like weirdly relatable weekly segment. It's called Feedback Friday, and he covers advice on like everything from escaping a cult to psycho family situations to relationships, networking, even asking for a raise. Isn't that the worst thing in the entire world? No, Jordan's going to walk you through it. Honestly, I'm a fan. I think I'm your number one fan. No, I'm just kidding. But Jordan is a goat when it comes to podcasting, and he's got one of the most highly rated self-development shows out right now. I told you, the Feedback Fridays are my personal favorite. Point blank, Jordan Harbinger is smart. He's funny, and he's easy to listen to. He's one of those podcasters that you feel like you're hanging out with. You're going to be pressed to find an episode without excellent conversation, a few giggles here and there, and actionable advice that can help improve your daily life. You cannot go wrong with adding the Jordan Harbinger Show into your rotation. It is incredibly interesting, and there's never a dull show. Search for the Jordan Harbinger Show. That's HARB as in boy, IN as in Nancy, GER on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. We love you, Jordan. He explained to the court, oh wait, before I say that, also during the trial it came out that on his MySpace he had his occupation listed. What do you think his occupation was listed as?
I'm sorry, back it up. He had a MySpace?
Yeah, it was 2006. Of course he did.
That motherfucker had a MySpace?
Everybody had a MySpace.
I know everybody had a MySpace, but like, he had a MySpace. Why is that so funny?
He had a MySpace.
Why is that so funny?
I don't know, but you gotta guess.
His occupation was consultant.
No, they said, what was your occupation on MySpace listed as? And his response in court testimony is, death. He thought that he was some slick ass motherfucker.
What?
And listed his MySpace occupation as death. I do death for a living. Go fuck yourself. I take lives for a living.
Girl, you're on MySpace.
Like
what?
Tom would not approve.
I'm all of that. All of that.
I do wonder, like, was his top 5 like his fellow crew members?
That's the thing. Like what? Nothing about. I'm still stuck on the MySpace.
I know.
Thing.
You're not wrong.
Did he have like a profile song? Did he know HTML?
What do you think his profile song was?
Did he also learn coding like the rest of us just to make your profile cool?
Girl, I just learned copy and paste.
I'm
truly.
I'm speapeechless that he had a MySpace. I know everybody had a MySpace, but like everyone had a MySpace.
No, I know, you're right. I need to know. I didn't even think of what his MySpace song would have been.
Oh my God, that's the first thing I thought of. The first thing I thought of was what his quote was.
Oh my God, you're like awakening all these different things that I forgot about.
Oh yeah, my entire
we had a playlist. You taught me how to put a playlist on my MySpace.
You did.
I wasn't just settling for one song.
No, that's wild.
One time I had the song, I think it's called Baby by Me by 50 Cent. And it's like, how about Baby by Me, baby, be a millionaire.
Meanwhile, keep in mind, Ash was like 4.5 years old.
Yeah, I think I was like honestly like 13.
Like way too young.
I did love Fitty. But my mom left me a note. I had that song, and then I had Music is my hot sex. Yeah, I at like 13. At 13. And my mom left a note on the computer desk that said, inappropriate, please remove. And actually she wrote, music is my hot sex, question mark, please remove, inappropriate. And I was like, you know what? That's a parenting win for you.
You know what?
Parenting win, you're correct.
Valid.
Fair woman. Other things, not so much. Anyways.
Wow.
So
I'll never get over that.
Yeah, he listed his occupation.
Not the music is my hot sex. I mean, I'll never get over.
I mean, we'll never get over
this guy having a MySpace.
Yeah, he did.
Never.
He did. Just like the rest of us.
Wow, there's so many questions.
And like death. Like,
wow.
You're not cool. So he explained to the court, Quote, I committed the crimes in this case because I'm an irresponsible person, completely and totally. I have no excuse. Okay, correct. You don't have an excuse. I like to think of myself as a little well, I don't like to.
I was going to say you like to.
But I'm like honest with myself, and I do think of myself as a little irresponsible from time to time. Like, not really anymore. I'm actually,
but I don't think I would describe what he did as irresponsible.
I'm irresponsible. That's why I murdered
That's
someone.
why I viciously murder people.
I'm an irresponsible guy.
I'm just so irresponsible.
I just don't like responsibilities.
No, that's like evil.
Like, sir, wrong.
No.
Now, obviously, we're talking about somebody with a family here.
Yeah.
Like, Robert McKelvey had a family, and they loved him. And his sister, who reported him missing, said he was being a big shot because these guys impressed him. My brother was not a gangster. He was a stupid kid, but he was not a member of the Bonanno crime family. He was a stupid kid that was just very impressed with the gangsters.
Oh, that hurts my heart.
For some reason, I got like chills reading that.
Because you just think of like the way she's describing him is like, my brother's just a stupid kid.
Like my
and
kid
he was just
brother.
Impressed by these guys.
Right.
Like, that hurts.
It
Because you just
does.
like know that that's like a real thing.
Of course.
And that's
And-
like a sister being like, that's how you do talk about your brother.
Oh my
You're
God,
like, he's a
totally.
stupid kid, but like,
Right.
he's not a bad guy.
He's a stupid kid, but he just got wrapped up in something that was so much bigger than him.
That's sad.
Like, and I can only imagine that while he was alive, like, she was like, come on, like, you got to get out of this,
Yeah,
man.
like she was probably like,
you don't want to be
get
wrapped
involved
up.
with this stuff.
And it's so horrible to think that, like, this happened.
Yeah.
You know? It's so sad.
Absolutely.
So my heart goes out to his family.
Yeah.
But when Joseph Young went to prison, obviously a new caretaker had to be hired. And a man named Rick Rispoli was the lucky winner. I'm fucking obsessed with Rick Rispoli, just
Bring
so
on
everybody
Rick.
knows. I will show you a video of Rick Rispoli. If you hop onto YouTube and check out the Inside Edition video, he's the guy giving the tour of a mansion. Everybody go do that because we will all collectively fall in love with Rick.
Amazing.
There's just something about him.
Something about Rick.
Something about Rick. But before he was the caretaker of the mansion, he was actually a concert promoter in charge of putting on different events at the mansion. Now, I'm not sure whether he was the one to like orchestrate this event or not, but in 1998, the B-52s performed on the lawn of Kreischer Mansion.
That's so random.
Love Shack, baby, love Shack.
Wow.
Like, love that.
Love that a lot.
More than I love, not more than I love Rick. I love Rick.
But I feel like Rick's great.
He is. So you just wait. So when Rick first took on the caretaker job, he worked alongside a woman named Elizabeth Marino. And the both of them say that one day they walked into the mansion and guess what they heard?
A door slam.
Yes, they heard doors slamming, like multiple doors slamming.
Yeah, they did.
And they heard a woman crying.
Oh, that's sad.
Could it be Frida? People always hear a woman crying.
Maybe it is.
I think it is. I think it could be. Now, during their time at the mansion, obviously people have told them tons of different stories about the hauntings. They say there's been a woman spotted on the front porch from time to time wearing like Victorian era clothing.
Oh, damn.
And then this is so fucking creepy. They say that you'll hear scratching coming from the inside of a closet in the mansion because there are rumors that back in the day, children used to be locked inside of closets as a punishment.
What the fuck, everyone?
I really didn't want to look too much further into that, to be honest with you. So we'll just leave that there.
I'm just going to take their word.
Yep, just going to leave that there. But just to leave you with, I think I wrote down one last spooky story, but I think there might be one more after this. This is a great story. Another woman who works with Rispoli, her name is Carla Gore, I think. She was working one day at the mansion getting ready for this like haunted hayride. And they were putting it on like they do in the whole month of October, they do haunted houses.
I want to go.
Yeah, exactly. Same. But so she's getting ready for this. All the employees are around, the actors, everything like that. And she kept seeing this little boy running around the property. And he was pretty hyper and just like straight up having a good time running amok. amok. But everyone who saw him, including the person driving the tractor, was like really worried about him getting hurt. Yeah. He was like, I can't see everything. Like I can't have
he just tears out. It's like,
I can't have this kid running around. So they were like, "Who is this someone's child?
Does this belong to anyone?
Does anybody know this one?" So they thought that it was a specific actress's son. So they went over to her and they were like, "Hey, like, can you just keep an eye on whatever her kid's name was?" And she goes, well, like, I left him at home today, so I think he's good.
So, like, I think someone's keeping an eye on him?
That's not my kid."
Oh.
She literally said, "I didn't bring him to work today." And then that kid was, like, unaccounted for. Like, he didn't belong to anyone. Yeah.
No.
What's interesting about that story is that it's not the only time people have reported seeing a boy, like, and the way they describe him is very similar all the time, running around on the mansion grounds. People see him all the time.
I love that he's just having a fucking blast.
Me too. In the afterlife, just vibing.
Yeah.
A lot of people wonder if it's one of Balthazar's children with either Caroline or Matilda that died when they were little.
Oh.
Because remember, Balthazar and Caroline's son Henry died at 6, and that people say this kid looks
right around
6.
that age.
Yeah, right around then. But also Matilda and Balthazar had 2 children that didn't survive into adulthood. So it could be one of those children.
Maybe.
Just playing at their brother Charles's house for all eternity. Just vibing.
I love it.
So yeah, the latest on the Kreischer Mansion is that it went on the market in 2021 for $7.4 million.
Holy shit.
And it's supposed to be bid at on an auction. Now the end goal, which I don't know, it kind of bums me out. I think it's going to bum you out too. The end goal is to build condos on the land surrounding the mansion.
No.
And it's for active adults, is how it's described.
No.
Do you think that's like 55 and older?
Yeah, that feels
that's
like
what
that's
I thought.
what that is.
And they think, so they're going to do like condos around it, and they'll have the mansion kind of be like the common room, like the common place.
I literally hate this.
To gather for like meals and games.
No, I hate it.
I don't really like it.
No.
I mean, maybe Balthazar and like the Kreischers would have been happy about it because they did like giving back to the community.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know. It doesn't feel right to me.
I think it should just be like a museum.
Me too.
Like turn it into like keep how
doing
it
the
is.
haunted hay rides and all that stuff.
Keep doing the haunted shit. Mm-hmm. Just keep it up.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Don't do that.
Well, the Isaac there wants to sell it because he has like a lot of West Coast projects going on, and I think he's just ready to kind of like put this into different hands. But I haven't seen any updates since last June. But a few articles that I read on the on the ongoing project pointed out that Isaac Yamtovian will have to get a couple different permits since the mansion is a landmark.
Yeah.
So I guess that makes things tricky, and maybe that's why there hasn't been an update.
Why don't we all, every single person listening right now, let's band together.
Yes.
Let's all chip in $10.
$10.
Let's buy that mansion.
Let's buy that motherfucking mansion.
Let's turn it into its fucking glory.
Yeah, like we can just
museum.
We can fix up whatever. I think Isaac took great care of it.
Yeah,
like, from the sounds of it.
So we'll just keep it like a museum.
No, like don't build on the land around it.
Yeah, it can't be used for like bingo night. Yeah, that's not. I can't.
I don't want that.
It just doesn't feel right.
It doesn't. And just like a little fun side note to end this on, if you've like been looking at pictures while we're kind of talking about this, you better not be driving.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Well, you better not be. But if the mansion looks familiar to you, it's because it's actually been on a few TV shows. Like they filmed on location here. Boardwalk Empire, Gotham, and Bones have all filmed there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, right?
Look at that.
And then, of course, Paranormal Lockdown, Ghost Adventures, and a show called Haunted Encounters.
Ooh.
But apparently, during the Boardwalk Empire filming, a few members of the cast and crew experienced like some paranormal shit. People said that they like felt like they were grabbed. There were props that would move on their own. Cameras would turn on and off with like nobody touching them. And some of them saw a little girl dressed in period clothing. Creepy.
I don't love that.
So creepy.
I'm telling you, ghost kids.
Totally, 100%.
That's where I'm out.
And then I did watch, you should totally watch the Paranormal Lockdown because they got a bunch of EVPs. One of them said, kill him.
Oh, that's mafia shit.
One of them said, I'm so sorry. Another one said, I'm Edward Kreischer. Nice to meet you. No, it didn't say nice to meet you.
I love that. And he's just like, what up?
So they got an EVP and they thought that it said better watch out, which is like super creepy. Oh. But to me, it sounded like I got locked out.
Oh, I like that.
So
I thought you were going to say
sure.
it sounds like Santa being like, you better watch out.
No. I got locked out.
I got to listen to it.
And so while they were there, they had like a psychic come in, like a medium, and they performed a seance and they closed the portal.
Oh.
They attempted to close the portal and they believe that they may have closed it and sent all the good spirits to the light and hopefully like sent the bad ones wherever they came from.
Wherever the bad ones go.
Exactly.
Damn.
So wild. And about that little girl in the period clothing.
Yeah.
They felt like everybody that saw her felt like she was lost.
Oh.
Which I was like, oh no, is
That's
she like
really sad.
Is she looking for someone?
Like, you need your parents? What's going on?
And then again, on the haunted house side of things, because of everything going on with the sale of the mansion, I'm not sure if they're doing the tours or not, but they did used to offer different time slots for tours during the day. And then, of course, at an elevated rate, you could do a nighttime ghost tour.
Oh my God, I want to do that.
I would do it.
I want to do it.
Amazing. And they did like the haunted stuff last year. Like they did all the haunted stuff in 2021. So I'm like, so maybe this October,
maybe
road trip, anyone?
I want to go.
I want to go.
Oh, I want to do it.
So that is the Kreischer Mansion. It is fascinating.
It really is.
Yeah, and just the fact that like so much went down at this place. And that's the thing. I'm like, so much went down at this place and we're just going to turn it into like a place for active adults.
Thank you. That's the weird thing to me. Right. It's like there's
much
a lot of history in that place and like gnarly history too. It just doesn't feel correct to do that.
I don't know. I mean, I understand, like, I guess people don't want it to be like a museum or something because I don't know if they're worried about like people breaking in when someone's not there.
Yeah,
like it's a lot of responsibility.
I can definitely understand the thought process for sure.
But like I don't understand.
My heart, I'm just like, no.
And I don't understand the other thought process of turning it into like a condominium place.
No, I don't get
sucks.
That. No.
We got to stop turning everything into condos. We need to get a little creative here.
We don't need that many condos.
No, there's so many fucking condos.
So many. This earth is just crawling with condos.
That's not even an overstatement.
It's really not.
Yeah, I think we should all go on a road trip and like maybe we should like set up a protest.
Let's do it.
We're
all going to do it together.
I love you guys. So we can do this.
We can do this, guys.
Let's do this.
Let's do it. All right. I should have done this in total ASMR because I'm officially losing my voice now.
Well, that's perfect because we're at the end.
Perfect.
So we hope you keep listening.
And we hope you
keep it weird. But not so weird that you end every single episode with ASMR because imagine if we started doing that, it would be kind of so spooky, to be honest with you. And it really fits with the spooky title of the Kreischer Mansion episode. Have a good day. Goodbye. I got locked out. I'm Edward Kreischer. You better watch out. You better not pout. Okay, we gotta go.
I like things my way. My coffee, my schedule, and my treatment. So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the Vyvgart Hytrulo pre-filled syringe, which contains efgartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VyvgartMyWay.com. That's VYVGART myway.com. And talk to your doctor about Vyvgart Hytrulo. Brought to you by Argenix.
Stitch Fix. Stop shopping, get styled.
A+ on the outfit, Miss Turner. You are about to slay parent-teacher conferences.
Oh, these? Just the most perfect fitting jeans my stylist sent me.
Oh, hello, you, who didn't set one foot in a mall and still looks amazing.
Just share your size, style, and budget, and your stylist sends personalized looks right to your door. Stitch Fix. Get started today at stitchfix.com.
To my stylist. This look is dedicated to you. Thank you. Thank you.